Hello and welcome to this week's Live Local and Loud with me, Kevin Gaughan. On this week's show, I shall be chatting to local legend himself, singer-songwriter, the great Mr. Kevin Hewick. And we'll also be playing lots of homegrown songs by local bands. Hello, I hope you're all well and are having a great week. Right, let's kick this week's show off by the very latest song from ex-frontperson of the Brandy Thieves and all-round decent... Well, she's got an amazing voice, she really is. You got to see her live to appreciate the fullness of her voice. But anyway, until then, let's have a little bit of Andrea Kenny and Passage of Time.
There's a few words before I go to hold you fast and let you know just how much I love you. But this is not goodbye, it's just a passage of time. So I'm home again. Let your heartache enjoy every day break, you know. I'll be back to share them all when I'm home. I'm home. When I'm your heartache enjoy every day break. I'll be back to share them all when I'm home. When I'm home. There's a plane I'm getting on. days I'll be in your arms.
That was the very latest from Andrea Kenny and A Passage of Time. She can often be seen playing on Friday evenings at the Sunny Vegan Bar in Leicester. Lovely, lovely atmosphere. I often see her in there on Friday nights. Great atmosphere. Amazing cocktails I do as well as lots of lovely food. So yeah, that was Andrea Kenny and A Passage of Time. Let's have a little bit of grunge now from Eric's London, who I interviewed a couple of weeks ago. They're not actually from London, they're actually around here, but it's Eric's London, I Am.
I am the one who's been ignorant. I am the one you need to forget. I am the one that you like to despise. I'm the one you want to reject. I've been for too long neglected. I've been for too long so weak. See your hands into the room. No more time for remedies. Injuries in my head. Put myself in front of me. Believe it's all over again. Believe got you out of my head. Believe I won't have it again. I won't take the blame. Believe it's all over again. Believe got you out of my head. Believe I won't have it again. I won't take the blame. I am the one you like dirty. I am the one who spends the night. I am the one you say you're tired of. I'm a weakness for your pride. I've been for too long neglected. I've been for too long so weak. See your hands into the room. No more time for remedies. Injuries in my head. Put myself in front of me. Believe it's all over again. Believe got you out of my head. Believe I won't have it again. I won't take the blame. Believe it's all over again. Believe got you out of my head. Believe I won't have it again. I won't take the blame.
That was the wonderful Eric's London and I Am. Love that tune. Okay, let's have the very latest from a very new band. It's Spellgaze and Abyss.
Sacred into the abyss. Take away my breath with a kiss. Hate all of my marvels and words. Fly me from the cages above. Wind rolls up from a distance. There's no place that I'd rather be. Feed me your sweet poison, drown away the noise. Take me in your arms one day and let me know I'm yours. Because my seams are falling apart. I'm hiding from the light in the dark. I just want to be numb. I wish that I was done. To feel your skin once more. To hold your hands in mine. To kiss your snow-cold lips. To know that it's all fine. Oh, please say time, please remind. Sink with me in the abyss. Please say time, please remind. Fade away the darkness. Please say time, please remind. Free me from the abyss. Please say time, please remind. And fade away the darkness. Fly with me into your soul. I promise I'll unload my gun. Go to bed at 5. I swear I'll wake alive. Don't worry, there's nothing left. Because my world is melting away. Please, I beg, don't ask me to stay. I wish I was to know. I wish that I was stoned. To feel your skin once more. To hold your hands in mine. To kiss your snow-cold lips. To know that you're still mine. Oh, please say time, please remind. Sink with me in the abyss. Please say time, please remind. Fade away the darkness. Please say time, please remind. Free me from the abyss. Please say time, please remind. Fade away the darkness. Sink with me into the abyss. Take away my breath with a kiss. Go to bed at 5. I swear I'll wake alive. Don't worry, there's
That was brand new band Spellgaze and Abyss. You can see them tomorrow night, Friday the 8th of September 2023 at the sunny Bowling Green. Not too sure where that is actually, in sunny Leicester, somewhere in Leicester. The Bowling Green, they're doing an acoustic set, so that'll be great. That's tomorrow, Friday the 8th of September 2023. Okay, so now it's time for this week's interview where I chat to a local legend himself, a singer-songwriter as well and man of many amusing stories. It's Mr. Kevin Hewick. But first of all, we'll play one of his songs, the very catchily titled Losing You and Finding You and Losing You Again.
I feel it's me that's to blame for losing you, finding you and losing you again. I whip myself with these chains for losing you and finding you and losing you again. Losing you and finding you, losing you and finding you, losing you and finding you again. Losing you and finding you, losing you and finding you, losing you and finding you again. Joyous sorrow, sorrowful joy, unrestrained, 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 unrestrained. My sorrows and joys share the same name, the same name, the same name. Losing you and finding you, losing you and finding you, losing you and finding you again. Losing you and finding you, losing you and finding you, losing you and finding you again. I had it, I lost it, do you know where it is? It's with you and your elusive kiss. So kiss this, kiss this fool who keeps losing you and finding you, losing you and finding you, losing you and finding you again. Losing you and finding you and losing you and finding you and losing you and finding you again.
That was Losing You and Finding You and Losing You Again by the local legend that is Kevin Hewick, who's this week's special guest here on Live, Local and Loud. Hello there, Kevin. Seems funny talking to a Kevin. Hello there, Kevin. How the devil are you today?
Well, Kevin, I'm feeling quite Kevinish, really.
Is that a good thing, Kevin?
Being a Kevin is a burden at times, but you know, you just have to deal with it, don't you? You know all about it.
Well, I quite like being a Kevin, to be honest, Kevin.
I'm a bit disappointed about it. My mum wanted to call me Christopher, But my dad won out with first Kenneth, which was my dad's name. And then they thought, well, two Kenneths will be, Kenneth Senior, Kenneth Junior will be confusing. So then my
Yeah.
dad hit on the idea of Kevin. So I could have been Christopher if my mum had had her way. I could have been Chris Hewick, which I think sounds quite cool.
Yeah, Chris is all right, but and Kev's all right as well.
I've got a cousin called Christine, so I'd perhaps got mixed up with Christine,
Oh,
Chris Hewick.
that's no good. That's no good, Kevin.
Exactly.
All right. Well,
I see them waffling already.
exactly
Yeah.
that. Anyway, Kevin, I'd just like to finish my intro by just saying thank you so much, very much for chatting with me here today on my little show, Live, Local and Loud. Now, just to give people perspective and so that we know what we're dealing with, can you briefly just tell us when and how you got into music? I take it was quite a few decades ago.
It was a very long time ago.
Wow.
I really grew up in the 60s and 70s, so I come from way, way back.
Oh.
I'm probably one of the what you'd call one of the more elderly members of the Leicester music community.
Wow. And how did you get into making your own music?
I just was so interested in it and wanted a guitar and taught myself, really. I didn't get on with any formal lessons or anything like that. And so I'm self-taught. And I got into the idea of writing songs. And again, it's just a thing I worked out for myself. Once you got the example of things like things I loved, like Bob Dylan and all that kind of stuff, you just try to emulate it.
Wow. And presumably, did you have lessons and stuff and vocal coaching and all that?
No, none at all.
Right. Wow. And so are you now, so skipping a few decades, are you now, well, I presume you're a full-time musician, is that correct?
In my dreams, yes. I
Okay.
I don't make enough money as it to make a living, but I totally, yeah, it's my life, totally my life. When people say it's a hobby, I freak out at them. It's not a hobby, no.
Okay, so Kevin, tell me, when you're writing your music, how does the creative process happen for you? Do you just wake up one morning and think of the lyrics, or how does that happen?
I think you just have to be tuned in all the time to things in life, feelings, impressions, images. Things occur to me. I can just start off with a phrase or a line and it grows from there. I'm sometimes in situations, this will sound a bit analytical, but sometimes you're in some sort of situation, you think, oh, this will turn into a song. You know it at the time it's happening. The only way I can deal with the feelings and emotions about it all is to write about it. But I'm very tuned into the idea of it. So if I'm sitting on a bus or walking around or whatever, I'm noting things down and thinking. And then I do a lot of writing and rewriting, and I reject a lot of stuff. I go through material and hopefully edit it into the best form it can be in.
Right. So we've just played the catchily titled Losing You and Finding You and Losing You Again. So how did that start?
I regret that title very much because it's very difficult to type out again and again because there's no G's on the end of losing and finding. And it's just about the kind of tail chasing circular relationship that goes right and wrong, that turns on and off and on again, that sort of thing. I got the main guitar phrase for it, and it just suited the mood of those words. It just seemed to grow together organically. There's all kinds of funny things in it. There's a bit about I whip myself with these chains, and funnily enough, at school, me and my friends had a kind of, at the time, Monty Python-esque kind of humour. And we used to go around going, whip 'em with chains, whip 'em with chains. I don't know where it came from. We just used to go on about whipping each other with chains.
and I remembered it and put it in the song all these years later. So it's quite funny little things like that can come in, that are little memories
Yeah.
from many years ago. And it's got nothing to do, in fact, with the actual song, but it's become part of it.
Okay, that's brilliant. I've just worked out you could abbreviate it to La Falua, couldn't you?
You could indeed.
Yes. Perhaps that's
Maybe
the
that's
one.
a good idea.
Oh, that's quite interesting because I played well a bit. Obviously I've seen you live a few times, and I think one of your shows is more like a journey, isn't it, for the audience? Because you explain you've got lots of interesting stories to tell about your.
I talk a lot, and I see it as performance art, and I see myself. Probably sounds a bit of an obvious thing to say. I see myself as Kevin Hewick, and there is only one Kevin Hewick, and I'm the best Kevin Hewick in the world. And therefore, Kevin Hewick can do anything. I'm almost talking like Kevin Hewick is David Bowie or something, some entity outside of myself. Because I obviously am Kevin Hewick, but you can make it anything, say anything, do anything, and things can go right, things can go wrong. I'm not a predictably, what you call in brackets, good performer. I'm erratic and probably erotic as well. But anyway, all these things. And it's very pure and of the moment. Of course, I want it to be good. I want it to be good for me. I want it to be good for you. I want it to be good for everybody. But I want to do the songs justice because I think the songs are really special and worth it. But it is very much a spontaneous thing. It's not contrived. It's very genuine. Oh, yeah, I react to people and all sorts. By the way, that's not an invitation to heckle me, but I've had enough of that in my lifetime, of people heckling and disrupting.
Exactly. It's like one of those audience withs, isn't it? An audience with Kevin Hewick. Yeah,
it is. It is. It's like I think I've got something interesting to say and interesting to share with everybody. Yeah. And I also, it feeds back the response of people, and the kind of atmosphere we get going together is important.
Now you're obviously quite serious about your music, aren't you, Kevin?
I'm very serious about it, though I laugh a lot and seem to lark about a lot. Yes, I'm really serious about it. It's art. Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking about it on a level that I think is quite deep, and I do hope that people can respond to that and relate to it, that it's universal, that it reaches out to people and they can relate to it too.
All right, then. Well, let's play another one of your songs. These are all from your forthcoming album, which we shall talk about in a minute. But first of all, let's play Repeat Yacht Traveller. But before we do, can you just tell us a little bit about it, please? That's an intriguing title.
The title comes from well-known broadcaster Katie Puckrick. She sent me a tweet replying to something I'd sent to her, and she thanked me for being a repeat yacht traveller, for watching her documentaries on yacht rock, which has become a sort of fashionable genre about sort of 70s smooth listening music, the kind of Hall and Oates and Toto type thing. And I thought, oh, that's a great title. And I thought I'd like to write a song that's kind of yacht rocky, because I kind of grew up in that era. And it was parallel with punk rock and quite the antithesis of punk rock. So I wrote this song, and it became quite spiritual. And it refers to things like Khalil Gibran, and it refers to, just very spiritual things, really, and about the world, and about wanting to escape from problems and pressures and go off on your mythical yacht in your mind and float away.
Okay, well, let's play it. So here's Repeat Yacht Traveller by Kevin Hewick.
down to the sea. Think I'm finding a new way to be. Mellow riding down to the bay. Think I'm finding a new thing to say. Repeat, ya traveler. Let the world keep unraveling. I'll go repeat your traveling. Far from everything. Sinful city offers no redemption. So many sirens, you stop paying attention. Ungratefully dead in my neon-fed head. But why can't there be California sunshine everywhere? Repeat, your traveler. Let the world keep unraveling. You're traveling far from all things, from other people, other hells, 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 other people, other hells. But a moment on the wind, and I'll be born again. Repeat, your traveler. Let the world keep unraveling. I'll go repeat your traveling. Far from all things, from other people, other hells, 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 other people, other
That was Repeat Yacht Traveller by the local legend that is Kevin Hewick himself. And he's this week's extra special guest here on Live, Local and Loud. So, Kevin...
Other people call me a legend. I don't call myself a legend.
No, that's because you're very modest.
Well, it'd be a bit big-headed to call yourself a legend, wouldn't it?
That's true. It would. But seeing as you've been around for such a long time on the local music scene, you must have seen a few changes in the local music scene. So just briefly, is it in a good place now, or is it in a not such a good place now? What's going on?
It's the most exciting place it's been for decades because of Unglamorous Women, because of Ruth Miller's project, where she's encouraged women to form bands and express themselves, people who've been marginalised and not included before. And the quality of the bands and the expression in them is incredible. And it's had a huge effect on me. And people like Glitch Magnets and Venus Attacks and Velvet Crisis and Boilers,
Wonky Portraits.
Wonky Portrait. He goes on and on because there's 16 bands, Pretty Dirty Rats, so on, so on, so on. So many to mention. And they're extraordinary people as well. And I love the shows, and I try to get to as many as possible. And they've inspired me. I've learned from them. You know, it's just great. Just a great thing. It's the best thing that's happened to Leicester for as long as I can remember. And it's all through Ruth Miller and what she's done with this exceptional and fantastic group of women.
And of course, if anybody's interested, she's just literally open to any women that are of a certain age, or just generally it tends to be maturer women, doesn't it?
It does, but I think the age ranges go from
there's young ones as well,
late 20s to early 70s.
Yeah, just any women really. Just get together.
What you've not had are women in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s going on stage, singing about what they're singing about and playing the kind of music they're playing and expressing it. It's fun, but it's not a joke. It's still sort of a serious fun thing, and it's just created something quite amazing and quite important. And as I say, it's had a huge effect on me. It's changed Leicester music entirely. The whole feeling of it is just incredible. It's a golden era at the moment, and in years and years' time, people will remember 2023 because of them. Because of them, may I add, not me.
So. And she's done quite a few bands. What she's probably done about 20 now going so far. And most of them have no previous musical experience as well. Is that right?
Yeah, or they have been able to play and things, but have never really put it together in this way in bands like they are doing now. It's been kind of, people have had their talents in isolation, or they've been busy with other things, with careers and families and so on. And it's just all fallen into place at this moment. And as I say, Ruth has been, I cannot stress enough how Ruth has been the catalyst for this.
Yeah. And like I say, it's good timing as well, because it's probably at a time where the Leicester music scene needs something a bit different. But not only the Leicester music scene, the whole country as a whole needs something a bit different.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, so obviously, there's always great creative people and great creative things going on. How much coverage it gets and what attention it gets is totally lopsided. But this has given something, I suppose, that happens to unify quite a lot of people in a lot of different things at one time. And it's not a parody of punk, though it's connected up to the Punk Rage and Revolution exhibition that's been at the Leicester Museum. That it's kind of been a kind of piece of synchronicity that happened at this time, because that was planned long before. You know, it's taken a long time to piece that exhibition together. And this has happened almost in perfect parallel with it.
That's
but
true. Yeah.
It's about now and about the future and about going on and things growing, and they are going to grow. I mean, many of these bands have got exciting futures ahead. It's nothing to do with the conventional music business. Yawn, because the conventional music business just needed slapping anyway, didn't it?
But that's really exciting then, to knowing that we're currently living through the unglamorous movement. So, like you say, in years to come, people will be talking about this time. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So people need to get out there and witness it and be part of it. Like you and I do, like we did on Saturday at Luke Broughton's gig.
Luke's Pride event. Yeah,
that's it.
You see, Luke's somebody who makes things happen. There are, there's other things. People like Luke are a good example of making things happen.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so what Ruth could do with Unglamorous, she hopefully then at some point she'll start taking it around the country, maybe taking a few of her bands around the country.
There's already been quite a bit of contact with other places, even from as far away as New Zealand.
Oh wow.
Obviously, the idea could grow, but Leicester does seem to have something about it. Leicester seems to have something about its openness, its diversity.
Yeah.
It's a very Leicester phenomenon. You wonder, I don't want to offend anybody, but you wonder if it could happen in somewhere like Nottingham, for example. Not knocking Nottingham, but it doesn't seem to have
No.
such a friendly vibe as we have,
No.
you know.
And again, it's because like Saturday coincided with our Pride weekend as well, didn't it? So that's an example of our acceptability.
It was a crazy day. And JJ Lovegrove was doing our album launch at HMV, and it was just crazy the whole day.
So Kevin, back to you, if I may. Have you done any duets with anybody in the past?
Well, on the album, I've got Autumn Dawn Leader and Sally Barker, and Autumn's recorded with me before, and I suppose that's that kind of connection. I quite like doing more duets with more people, but
just running out of time slightly now. You just tell us a bit about your new album, which is going to be re-released shortly, isn't it? September
15th. Yeah,
Monster
Skyline.
Monster
Skyline, because Bob Dylan did Nashville Skyline, and I thought I'd do for Esmonsel what Bob Dylan did for Nashville there.
And why not? And tell us about the songs. Is it like a conceptual album? Does it have to be? Does it go from beginning to end? Has it got a story throughout?
There are kind of interlinked themes. It's not a concept album, but there are themes in it. There's a set of songs about when I was young. Orchard is one of them, and perhaps about that young first wave of, let's call it love energy, shall we? And there's songs about the male gaze and songs about the need to escape and try to find some sort of sanctuary. All a bit vague, really, but to put in a few words like this. But there are things that interlink, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant. So that's Monsell Skyline. It's being released on September the 15th. Have you got a corresponding gig to go with that, Kevin?
There's going to be a launch gig on Sunday afternoon of October the 1st at the Musician. And I've got Lucy Bremridge and Chloe Laurentzen. I don't know how to say her surname. I keep meaning to ask her. Who are two brilliant young, they're both 18, singer-songwriters, and a fantastic contrast to have two of the most gifted young songwriters I know of and have them perform, and I'll perform as an old ruin in comparison to them. But
okay. But it'll be a good contrast.
Yeah, exactly. And then I wish I knew how to say Chloe's surname, though. I've only just met her, and I was just blown away by her when she performed, and incredible songs. And Lucy, we saw at the Riverside Festival, just remarkable. And then October the 6th, I'm at HMV. I'm doing a launch event at HMV, and I'll be playing hopefully through the day, doing perhaps several sets through the day if they'll let me do it. I think they're going to let me do it. So just do a series of performances through the day at HMV Leicester.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so that's October the 1st. That's in the afternoon, isn't it? At the Musician, or is it all day at the Musician?
That's the afternoon, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, in the evening, we've got I play guitar with Maureen Anderson's band Multimorph, and there's Roger Pugh, and a dancer called Andrea. So there is something in the evening as well. So, but the bit with me doing my songs is in the afternoon with Chloe and Lucy.
Excellent. I remember Multimorph. I saw him a few years ago in Oxjam. That was an interesting gig.
Oh God, Oxjam, God.
Anyway, we'll talk about that some other time, Kevin. Okay, well, that's brilliant. So we're going to have to sign off in a moment. People, now you've got your own website, www.kevinhewick.co.uk. Like you say, you must on Facebook. You must have been the first Kevin Hewick because there's no numbers there, is it? It's just Kevin.Hewick.
No, it's just Kevin Hewick, and it's like that with everything.
Brilliant.
When you look for me on Twitter or Instagram, or if you look for me on things like Spotify or Bandcamp or any of those, if you put Kevin Hewick in, you find me because I'm the only one.
That's it. You're the pioneer of the Kevin Hewicks.
Just as well my name wasn't John Smith, isn't it?
Exactly. Or even Christopher Hewick. That might have been a bit more common, wouldn't it? But you would
that have been more common, and who knows? Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, thank you very much for our little chat today, Kevin. It's been great finding out about your history, your past, and your songs. So that's been fantastic. We're about to sign off now with one of your songs, which is also on the forthcoming LP. It's Orchard. Could you just tell us a little bit about this, please?
It's about being young and engulfed by waves of desire. And also, there's a bit of a duel with Lee Spreadbury on the synthesizers and me on the guitar. We're trying to be like the Mahavishnu Orchestra and that kind of thing.
And he's wonderful.
And I think we succeeded.
Excellent. And this is the first ever radio play, I do believe.
Yes, the first radio play in the world.
Wow. It's going to be here, right now. History in the making.
It is history in the making, yeah. All the time.
Okay, well, thank you ever so much.
All the time we're making history and changing the world.
Absolutely. Thank you very much then, Kevin, and I shall look forward to seeing you at your album release in the afternoon of October the 1st at the Sunny Musician. Meanwhile, here's Orchard. It can be a
rainy musician for me. I'm not a sun lover.
Anyway, so here's Orchard by Kevin Hewick.
Walking through the orchard with you, flame trees hung heavy with drug-like fruit. I get high with you. Of autumn fire, I'm yearning for the apples of desire. Yes, let's get higher. Bite it, I must. Taste it, I will. Remind me not of the bitter hills. beautiful fall, this unforgettable thrill. You're no Eve, but this is an Eden for you and me, and it's serpent free.
That was me chatting to the local legend himself, singer-songwriter Kevin Hewick. Can't wait to see him on October the 1st in the afternoon at the Sunny Musician. So that'll be a fine gig. And he was just saying, actually, the two young ladies supporting him are absolutely amazing. He couldn't believe it when he saw them first time. So yeah, that sounds like a really good gig. And then that'll be followed in the evening by one of the other bands he's in, Multimorph, and they're an interesting band to go and see. Anyway, great day of entertainment. That brings us to the end of another live Local and Loud with me, Kevin Gaughan. I hope you've enjoyed the show. Don't forget, if you want to listen to any of these shows from the past and the interviews therein, check out musicinleicester.co.uk and you'll find a handy playlist on the right hand side. Also, if you want to see what gigs are coming up in the local music scene, check out our handy gig guide. That's all in www.musicinleicester.co.uk. So do have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you next Thursday here on Hermitage FM at 5 o'clock.